school shooting. This is just becoming way too common in the U.S. It's pathetic. And nothing is ever done. Some of those Fox News wonderful celebrities were tweeting about, well, why don't we let them grieve before we start politicizing everything? Do you listen to yourselves? The minute a Muslim or a Hispanic person commits a crime, you idiots are all over it. But if it's a white guy, thoughts and prayers, don't politicize it. Shut up. The next person that says liberals are going to take your guns, liberals want to take your guns, Democrats want guns to be illegal, I'm going to smack the shit out of you. They've never said that. They only want stricter gun control. I'm just fed up with this crap, man. It's awful. And who do we blame? The kids, the parents, the video games, the movies? And I think most of the blame falls on the parents. Just sad, pathetic, terrible parents. It's probably 90% of it right there. We have got to find ways to make it more difficult or impossible for these idiots to obtain firearms. That's the only solution. Let me give you a thought here. Let me run this one by you. So I used to be a bartender. It was a fun job, very fun job. Meet a lot of cool people when you're bartending, learn a lot of cool new things. It was a different experience. But one of the things being a bartender, you've got to take a safety class and get a license or a permit for your state. Then in the state where I live, as a bartender, if I overserved a customer and that customer decides to get in their car and drive drunk or drive under the influence of alcohol, they get into an accident and they kill somebody, I, as the one that overserved them, can be held responsible. Maybe it should be the same with gun laws. If you act irresponsible and sell a firearm to someone who commits a mass murder or commits a school shooting or commits a bank robbery or rape, then maybe you should be held responsible. Where I live, we don't have a lot of access to unbiased news or unbiased radio. Everything around here is conservative, right wing. That's just how it is. That's where I live. Can't help that. But they did make a good point yesterday that I have enforced, whether it comes to Tide Pods or whether it comes to dipshits like Logan Paul and the things that he does and takes no responsibility for. It's the fault of the parents. Right-wing radio actually was blaming the right person. These parents don't know. I don't know if they just don't know how to raise their kids. I don't know if they don't ever talk to their kids. I don't know if I don't know what's going on. Do they just not stay involved in their parents' lives? I mean, I don't have a real solution to solving this problem. But I do keep seeing the suggestion, let's hire retired police officers, or let's hire retired military to post up and to patrol and to guard the schools. Well, that's fine. I'm all for that. But this is coming from people who want less government, who want the government to spend less money, because these people aren't going to work for free 5 days a week on an 8-9 hour day. They're not going to do it. They might at first, but it's not going to continue. Where's the money going to come from to pay for this fantastic plan that you people have? You know, I mean, maybe with Trump's tax cuts that he gave himself and his friends and his family, maybe that could pay for it. You know, or maybe the millions of dollars that we have spent on the Trump golf trips every single weekend that he stated he would never do because Obama golfed like 5 times. But maybe that money could go to paying retired police officers and military veterans instead. How about that? That's a good idea. But you can't expect the schools to pay for it. The schools can barely afford to pay their teachers. They can't afford to upgrade textbooks. They can't afford to upgrade computers. They're definitely not going to be able to afford hiring security full time. So I'm sorry, that idea isn't going to work. Me personally, I'm a gun owner. I've owned a gun for years. I support the Second Amendment. There are just simply some things that gun owners in America don't need. High capacity magazines. If you need 50 rounds to stop a home invasion, you suck. You don't need to own a firearm. You know, these bump stocks and these modifications to AR-15s that basically convert the weapon into a fully automatic. Again, let's go into, it's self-defense. No, it's not. It's not self-defense. A fully automatic weapon is not an accurate weapon, especially when you're only firing at 1 or 2 targets. If you need fully automatic and you're gonna just pray and spray, you suck. You don't need to own a weapon. Again, both of these things, they should be banned. You don't need them. There is no use for high capacity magazines or fully automatic weapons in the hands of the general public. Now let's set something straight here that both sides of the media get wrong. Assault rifles. An AR-15 that you go to your local gun store and purchase legally, that is a semi-automatic, which means it fires a single round, is not an assault rifle. That is a long rifle. An AR-15 or an M4 that the U.S. military carries, or your local SWAT teams or police department may carry, that is a fully automatic or even has a 3-round burst, is an assault rifle. The moment you take that store-bought AR-15 that is semi-automatic and make a modification to that weapon or add a device that makes that weapon fully automatic, it turns into an assault rifle. So just because you buy the firearm at a gun store and it looks like what the police carry or what the Marines carry, that doesn't make it an assault rifle. So let's get that straight right now. So, I mean, just some final thoughts on this, because this is going to be discussed heavily for the next couple of weeks, and then everybody's going to forget about it again, and nothing's going to be done. Should we ban guns that look like assault rifles? No, we shouldn't. They're mainly used for sport. Nobody uses an AR-15 to hunt with. If you do, you're a freaking liar. They're used for sport shooting, and they're Barbie dolls for men, just to be honest with you. Should we ban modifications that turn these weapons into assault rifles? Absolutely. There is no need for them. Should we make it more difficult to buy a firearm in the U.S.? Deeper background checks, mental stability checks, social media checks? I think so. I don't think you should just be able to pop into a store and walk out with a gun 10 minutes later. You can't buy a car in 10 minutes. Can't buy a house in 10 minutes. Can't buy life insurance in 10 minutes. Why should you be able to buy a gun in 10 minutes? Should there be penalties for gun store owners and individuals that sell a firearm to somebody that commits a crime? Absolutely. Especially when they skip around the background checks or skip around the necessary checks to see if this person should even own a firearm. Just like with a bartender being responsible for a drunk driver, I think the gun store owner should be responsible too. Should we bring back a waiting period to buy a firearm? 7 days, 10 days, 14 days? Absolutely. Again, going back on, stricter gun control, I don't think you should be able to walk into a store and just walk right out with it 10 minutes later. A firearm is something that can be dangerous if you are not trained how to use it, and obviously can be used to commit a crime. No, we shouldn't take away the Second Amendment. No, nobody is coming to take your guns, but we need to make them more difficult to get a hold of and more difficult to purchase. We need stiffer penalties and fines. For example, all the people that are stuck in jail on petty marijuana charges, that's pretty stupid, but then you've got people that make parole after committing an armed robbery for only serving 2 years. I mean, what kind of sense does that make? But anyway, you commit armed robbery, life in prison. You commit a crime with a firearm, life in prison, you're gone. Because how many of these crimes that are committed with firearms are actually repeat offenders? I would say a pretty large number of them. That's my piece, guys. No, nobody wants to come and take away your guns. I am a liberal. I am a supporter of the Second Amendment. I am a gun owner. Until we make some changes with these laws, until we get our president and our senators and our representatives off the payroll of the NRA and the gun manufacturers, this is going to continue. A lot has got to change. I don't have all the answers. Maybe you do. Conservatives sure as hell don't have the answers, other than thoughts and prayers. And as in a believer of God, thoughts and prayers don't always work. We need stricter, tighter gun control. That's the answer. That is the only answer. Those are my thoughts. I hate that we had another shooting in the U.S. Innocent lives lost for no reason at all. There's absolutely no reason for those people to lose their lives. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon.